Welcome to Byte-Sized Tech, where we blend casual conversations with insightful discussions on the latest in technology and gadgets.
Insightful indeed.
Today, we're diving headfirst into a pool of fascinating tech news.
Oh, I like that. A pool.
We've got AI art making headlines,
Yeah.
Google shaking things up with a new learning tool, and batteries getting sliced and diced literally.
Literally sliced and diced, huh?
So let's grab our metaphorical forks and dive into this buffet of tech innovation.
Sounds good to me. I'm starving.
Well, to start us off, an AI-generated portrait of Alan Turing just sold for over $1 million at Sotheby's.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, and remember, the pre-auction estimate was way lower, like something between $120,000 and $180,000.
Right. Something like that.
So this sale, it's not just a cool art story.
Yeah.
It shows how much interest and value people are putting on AI-generated art these days.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, the art world is finally saying, hey, AI can be creative too.
Exactly. And speaking of creative, the artist behind this piece is anything but ordinary.
Oh, really?
It's Ada.
Ada.
An AI system named after Ada Lovelace and built by a whole team of 30 people.
A whole team.
That's some serious collaborative art making.
Oh, and the best part is the creators are saying that most of that $1 million profit is going right back into Ada.
Really?
For maintenance power bills, the usual artist struggles.
So maybe AI isn't so different from us, after all.
Maybe they just need like a good beret and a paint-splattered smock or something.
Right, but moving on from the art world, Google's cooking up something interesting in the AI search world with
Learn about.
Yeah, it's not your typical search engine. It's all about diving deep into topics.
So how is that different from just, Googling something?
Well, it's designed to help you really understand a subject. Think interactive content suggested topics that pop up as you go.
Wow.
Even multimedia mixed in. It's like having a super smart friend guide you through a subject, except this friend is powered by algorithms.
Okay, so instead of just spitting out links, it's more of a guided learning experience.
It's exactly. The goal is to make learning fun and engaging like a conversation instead of a boring lecture.
I like the sound of that.
Me too. And speaking of engaging learning, Google, DeepMind just made a big move. They open sourced their protein prediction. AI AlphaFold 3.
AlphaFold 3.
Yeah, for those who don't know, AlphaFold 3 is a huge deal in the scientific community. It's made huge strides in protein modeling.
Yeah, it's a game changer, really.
And this move to open source the code was crucial.
I'd imagine.
There was actually some pushback because DeepMind wasn't sharing it initially.
Oh, really?
But now with everyone having access, it could lead to some amazing breakthroughs in medicine, drug discovery, all sorts of fields.
Yeah, like they unlocked a secret level in science.
Exactly. But let's switch gears for a second and blast off into SpaceX. SpaceX just did something pretty cool with their Dragon cargo capsule.
Oh, yeah, they used it to boost the International Space Station's orbit.
Right, that's a task usually done by other spacecraft. So it really shows how versatile the Dragon is and its potential role in keeping the ISS running.
Which is interesting because, as it stands, the ISS is set to retire in 2030.
Right, although there's always a chance it could get a life extension. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
But back down on Earth, things are getting pretty flexible. Literally, LG just showed off a mind-bending stretchable display that can expand by 50% and even morph into different shapes.
Talk about a screen with some serious yoga skills.
The possibilities with this tech are pretty wild. Imagine screens integrated into clothing curved dashboards that blend seamlessly into your car, or even wearable devices that can transform depending on what you need them to do.
Wow, it's like the future of screens is all about being bendy.
And while we're on the topic of flexibility, let's talk batteries.
Okay.
Researchers in China just created a prototype lithium-sulfur battery that's incredibly durable.
Lithium-sulfur batteries, those have always been sort of the potential superstar in the battery world.
In what way?
Well, they could be cheaper than lithium-ion.
Right.
But charging time and safety concerns have been holding them back.
So what makes this prototype different?
Well, get this, you can actually cut it in half or fold it and it still works.
No way.
Yeah, this could be a huge step in making lithium-sulfur batteries more practical and safe for wider use.
So are we about to enter the era of foldable phones and sliceable batteries?
Only time will tell, but one thing's for sure. Things are getting pretty interesting in the tech world.
I agree.
Before we go any further, I can't get over that Learn About tool from Google.
Yeah.
It really seems like they're trying to change the way we learn.
It does sound pretty unique. What makes it so different from just, Googling something?
Well, imagine you're curious about, say, the history of video games.
Okay.
With a regular search, you get bombarded with links, articles, maybe some videos.
Right.
But with Learn About, it's like having a personal guide. It starts you off with some interactive content, maybe a timeline of key events, some cool images.
Okay, I'm picturing it now. And then what does it just keep feeding you more and more information?
Not exactly as you interact with the content, it starts suggesting related topics. Maybe you click on an early video game console, boom, up pops information about the technology behind it, the designers who created it, even similar games from that era.
So it's tailoring the learning experience to my interests as I go.
Exactly, and it mixes in videos, images, all kinds of multimedia. It's not just reading a wall of text, it's more immersive, more engaging.
It's like they took the best parts of a museum exhibit and combined them with the power of the internet.
That's a great analogy, and it really speaks to the way people learn best.
Yeah.
It's not about cramming your head full of facts. It's about exploring, making connections, having those aha moments.
And speaking of aha moments, let's circle back to that AlphaFold 3 news. Open sourcing such a powerful AI tool is bound to have a ripple effect, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It's a huge win for the scientific community now. Researchers all over the world, even those without tons of funding, can access this cutting-edge technology.
So we could see a surge in breakthroughs and discoveries in all sorts of fields.
Potentially, yes. Think about it. Faster drug development, new materials, even a deeper understanding of diseases. This is the kind of move that could accelerate scientific progress in a big way.
It's like they gave everyone a superpower.
Right.
Okay, enough with the serious stuff for a minute.
Yeah.
Let's get back to those bendy, twisty screens LG just showed off.
Oh, yeah.
Those things are just begging to be played with.
Right. I mean, who doesn't want a phone that doubles as a frisbee?
Uh-huh.
Okay, maybe not, but the potential here is huge.
Yeah.
We're talking about screens integrated into clothing curved dashboards in cars. Even wearables that can change shape depending on what you're doing.
It's like we're stepping right into a sci-fi movie.
I know, right?
Imagine wearing a shirt that can display your latest social media updates, or a smartwatch that unfolds into a mini tablet.
The line between physical objects and digital interfaces is blurring.
Yeah.
And with LG claiming these screens can be stretched over 10,000 times without damage, durability doesn't seem to be an issue.
Durability is always a good thing, especially when it comes to things we use every day. Which brings us back to those super tough batteries we touched on earlier.
Yeah.
Those lithium-sulfur prototypes from those Chinese researchers. Those are the ones you can cut and fold, right?
You gotta see. They actually developed two different versions.
Oh.
One maintains stability after hundreds of discharge cycles, which is huge for longevity.
That's right.
And the other, the one that's getting all the attention, keeps working even after being cut or folded.
Now, remind me again why lithium-sulfur batteries are such a big deal.
Well, in theory, they could be cheaper to produce than the lithium-ion batteries we use in everything these days.
Okay.
And they have the potential to store more energy, so longer battery life for your phone or
Right.
electric cars that can go further on a single charge, you name it.
Sounds like a win-win.
Right.
But if they're so great, why haven't we been using them all along?
That's the catch. Charging time has always been a problem.
Ah.
We're talking hours to charge a lithium-sulfur battery compared to minutes for a lithium-ion one.
Yeah, that's a big difference.
And there have been safety concerns they could overheat or even catch fire under certain conditions.
So this new research is basically tackling those obstacles head on.
Exactly. By creating prototypes that are so durable, they're addressing those safety concerns.
Okay.
And if they can figure out how to speed up the charging time, lithium-sulfur batteries could really take off.
Imagine a world where you could charge your phone once a week or drive across the country on a single charge. That's the kind of future I can get behind.
It's definitely a game changer, but we're not done with AI yet.
Oh.
We talked about AI art and scientific breakthroughs, but what about AI that can actually write code?
Hold on. Is that even possible?
Mm.
Are we talking about robots replacing programmers now?
Not quite robots, but AI-powered code generation is becoming a reality.
Really?
There's a new language model out there called Quinn 2.5 Coder, specifically designed for this.
And it's good, like actually writing usable code.
From what I've read, it's exceeding expectations.
Wow.
The latest version with 32 billion parameters is even outperforming GPT-4 in some benchmarks.
Wow. GPT-4, that's the big leagues of AI. So what does this mean for the future of software development?
It's still early days, but this could be a huge shift.
Yeah.
Imagine developers using AI to write boilerplate code, identify bugs, even suggest improvements.
So it's more like AI assisting human programmers, not replacing them.
Exactly. It's about streamlining the process, making developers more efficient, and freeing them up to focus on the creative and complex aspects of coding.
It's like having a super smart coding buddy who can handle the tedious stuff while you focus on the big picture. I like it.
And here's the best part. This particular model is small enough that it can run locally on many computers.
Oh, wow.
So developers don't even need to rely on cloud services to use it.
That's a big deal for accessibility and privacy. It really democratizes the power of AI-assisted coding. Well, from self-portraits to space stations to self-coding software, it seems like AI is infiltrating every corner of the tech world these days.
It's certainly a transformative force, but as with any powerful technology, it's important to use it responsibly.
Absolutely. But maybe we can save those deeper philosophical discussions for another day right now. I'm just excited to see where all this innovation takes us. What other unexpected surprises await us in the future?
That's the beauty of it all, isn't it? The future of tech is always full of surprises. You know, it's funny. We've been talking about all this amazing tech, but sometimes I wonder if we're moving too fast. Like, are we considering the implications of all this innovation?
That's a good point. I mean, just look at that AI-generated artwork that sold for over $1 million. It raises some interesting questions, right?
Definitely. Like, who actually owns the rights to that artwork? The AI itself, the programmers who created it, the person who bought it. It challenges our whole concept of authorship and copyright.
And what about the art world in general? Will galleries be filled with AI masterpieces in the future? Will human artists have to compete with algorithms for recognition?
It's definitely going to shake things up, but change isn't always a bad thing, right? It could push human artists to explore new creative territories, to find ways to differentiate themselves in this evolving landscape.
It's like AI is forcing us to rethink what it means to be creative, to be an artist.
Exactly. And that kind of critical thinking is important as AI becomes more integrated into our lives. Take self-driving cars, for example. The technology is incredible, but there are still ethical dilemmas to consider. What happens in an unavoidable accident? How does the AI decide who to protect?
Those are tough questions, and there are no easy answers. And as AI takes on more complex tasks like medical diagnoses, we need to make sure those algorithms are free from bias.
Absolutely. We need to ensure these systems are fair and equitable, that they don't perpetuate existing inequalities or discriminate against certain groups of people.
It's a reminder that technology is a tool. And like any tool, it can be used for good or bad. It's up to us to guide its development and use it responsibly.
Well said. We need to have these conversations now while AI is still in its early stages so we can shape its trajectory in a positive direction.
So as much as we love geeking out over the latest gadgets and breakthroughs, it's important to remember the bigger picture, the impact these technologies have on society, on humanity as a whole.
It's about finding that balance between innovation and responsibility, between pushing the boundaries of what's possible and ensuring those possibilities serve the greater good.
Well, on that note, we've covered a lot of ground today, from million-dollar AI art to stretchy screens to batteries you can bend and break. It's been quite a journey through the world of tech.
It's always an adventure exploring the ever-evolving landscape of technology.
Thanks for tuning in to Byte-Sized Tech. If you enjoyed the episode, like, comment, share, and subscribe for more fun tech discussions.